Imagine the day when the power goes out and never comes back. How long until the thin veneer of civilization peels away? Picture the scene: the lights flicker, the fridge hums to a stop, and the eerie quiet of a world without electricity settles in. At first, it's a sense of unease, a hint of panic. People huddle in their homes, waiting for the power to return. But as the hours turn into days, that passive panic starts to shift. This is where we see the transition from a society built on mutual respect and order, to one where aggressive survival instincts take over. It's not a sudden switch, but a gradual slide into desperation. This is the tipping point, the moment when looting becomes a real and present danger. What triggers this shift? It could be a number of things. Utility failures are a major factor. When the taps run dry, the lights stay out, and the internet is a distant memory, people start to get desperate. Food and water are no longer guaranteed, and the basic comforts of life are stripped away. Another trigger could be the withdrawal of law enforcement. When the police are overwhelmed or simply gone, that thin blue line that keeps order is erased. Now, there's no one to enforce the law, no one to protect the vulnerable. It becomes a survival of the fittest scenario where might makes right. Lastly, food shortages can quickly escalate passive panic into full-blown looting. When the supermarket shelves are bare and there's no sign of restocking, people will do whatever it takes to feed themselves and their families. And then there are the protests. What starts as a small, peaceful demonstration can quickly become a widespread, violent mob. The mob mentality takes over, causing people to do things they would never normally do. So how do we prepare for this scenario? By understanding the triggers and signs, we can predict when looting might start. This knowledge gives us the power to prepare, to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Understanding when and why looting begins is the first step to staying safe. When the chips are down, the faces you see may surprise you. We often picture looters as hardened criminals, taking advantage of chaos to snatch up what they can. But the truth is, anyone can become a looter when pushed to the brink. When survival is at stake, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Your friendly neighbor, the local shopkeeper, even the high school teacher may resort to looting. It's not about good or evil, it's about survival. You see, when society's safety nets fail, the primal instinct to survive takes over. Then there are the opportunists. These are the individuals who see a crisis as a chance to profit. They're not looting for survival but for gain. They're the ones who will snatch up valuables, luxury items, anything they can sell when the dust settles. Lastly, there are organized crews. These can be gangs, mafias, or even corrupt officials. They operate with a level of sophistication and brutality that can be truly terrifying. They're not just looting, they're asserting control, establishing a new order amidst the chaos. The motivations behind looting shift as a crisis progresses. In the early stages, most people are looting to survive. They're taking food, water, medicine, the basics. But as the crisis continues and desperation grows, the line between survival and profiteering blurs. Some start to steal not just what they need, but what they want. They take things they can trade or sell, things that give them power or status. And this is when looting becomes truly dangerous, because it's not just about taking things. It's about taking control. Understanding who loots and why is crucial. It helps us anticipate their actions, their targets, their methods. It allows us to prepare, to protect ourselves and our supplies. It reminds us that in a crisis, we're not just up against faceless criminals. We're up against our fellow human beings, each driven by their own motivations, their own desperation. Knowing who you're up against can help you stay one step ahead. So as we move forward, let's remember, it's not just criminals we need to watch out for, it's everyone. In a world gone mad, value is a matter of perspective. What was once taken for granted, food, water, medications, now become high-value targets. Even the common can of beans or a bottle of aspirin transforms into a treasure, a beacon that attracts looters like moths to a flame. Remember, looters aren't just looking for luxuries, they're after the basics, the essentials for survival. Food and water top the list, of course. A hungry person can become a desperate person, and desperate people do desperate things. They'll break into homes, rummage through belongings, all in search of sustenance. Next on the list are medications. In a crisis, health becomes wealth. A simple fever reducer or a bottle of antibiotics can mean the difference between life and death, and weapons, firearms, knives, even baseball bats, these are sought after too, not just for self-defense, but for intimidation, for power. Fuel, another high-value target, becomes a precious commodity when the grid goes down. A can of gasoline can power a generator, heat a home, or fuel a getaway vehicle. It's a lifeline, a ticket to survival, and looters know this all too well. And then there's visible gear, tents, sleeping bags, flashlights, radios. These are the tools of survival, the gadgets that make life in a post-apocalyptic world a little more bearable. If looters see these, they'll want them. But it's not just about what they can see, it's about what they can hear, what they can sense. Looters are opportunists. They prioritize visible wealth, sure, but they're also drawn to easy access points, to rumors of hidden supplies. A careless word, a thoughtless action can turn your home into a target. In the end, it's about understanding the mindset of a looter. What do they want? What are they willing to do to get it? And most importantly, how can you protect what's yours? How can you keep your supplies and your loved ones safe? Knowing what looters are after can help you plan your defenses. It's about staying one step ahead, about being prepared for the worst while hoping for the best. Because in a world gone mad, the most valuable thing you can possess is the will to survive. In the game of survival, your hand is only as good as your ability to keep it hidden. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of items you must hide immediately when signs of looting start to surface. Top on the list are power supplies. Solar panels and power banks are like gold in a world without electricity. Make sure they're out of sight and well protected. The same goes for transportation. Bikes, scooters, e-bikes, these aren't just vehicles. They're freedom on wheels in a world where gas is scarce. Next up, generators, fuel cans, and propane tanks. These are the lifelines that power your survival, and they'll be high on any looter's wish list. Keep them hidden, but also keep them safe. Remember, a poorly stored fuel can is a ticking time bomb. Firearms and ammunition, of course, are non-negotiable. They're not just for defense, but also for hunting and intimidation. Keep your arsenal out of sight, and remember, a gun is only as good as the person wielding it. Medications, particularly prescription meds and first aid kits, are also prime targets. In a survival situation, these can mean the difference between life and death. Don't flaunt them, and don't let on that you have them. Cash, precious metals, and barter items might seem old-fashioned, but in a world where credit cards are useless, they're king. Keep these treasures hidden away but accessible. You never know when you might need to buy your way out of trouble. Finally, food. Canned goods, freeze-dried meals, even a well-stocked pantry. These are like beacons to a hungry looter. Keep your food stores hidden and never put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your supplies around to ensure that if one stash is found, you won't be left starving. Remember, in a world turned upside down, what you have is what you are. Your belongings, your supplies, they're extensions of you. They're your strength, your survival, out of sight, out of mind. If they can't see it, they can't take it. A good hiding place is worth its weight in gold. What good is a stash of life-saving supplies if it's the first thing looters find? We've talked about what to hide. Now let's talk about where to hide these prized possessions, and where not to. Let's start with smart concealment strategies. Picture this, you've got a home office, you've got a bookshelf. But what if that bookshelf was more than just a bookshelf? False walls or shelves can be a genius way to conceal your supplies. Just remember, the goal is to blend in, not stand out. Now imagine stepping into your backyard. It's ordinary, right? But what if beneath that garden gnome or under that old tree stump, you've got a waterproof container filled with emergency rations? Buried stashes are another excellent hiding place. Just be sure to keep it discreet and remember exactly where you've hidden your goods. And then there are decoy cabinets. The beauty of a decoy cabinet is that it can easily throw off a hurried looter. You could have a pantry filled with expired cans or boxes of cereal while your real stash is safely hidden away. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Decoys and misdirection are powerful tools in your survival toolkit. They can be the difference between losing everything and preserving your vital supplies. Imagine a looter entering your home. They're desperate, on edge, and ready to grab the first valuable thing they see. This is where a well-placed decoy can turn the tide in your favor. You can set up decoy stashes with low-value supplies that appear valuable at a glance. Items like canned food past its expiration date or empty medicine bottles can play the part. The idea is to create a diversion, to draw attention away from your real caches. This requires strategic placement. Think about areas that are easy to access or spots where you might accidentally leave something out in the open. Now, let's talk about misdirection. This is a subtle art. It's about creating an impression of scarcity, an illusion that your home has already been picked clean. To do this, you can use subtle signs of emptiness. Leave cupboards ajar and bare, make it look like someone has already rummaged through your stuff. You can even scatter some broken items around to give the impression of a hasty loot. The goal here is to convince intruders that your home isn't worth the risk or the effort. Remember, in a situation where every second counts, a looter is less likely to spend precious time in a place that appears to have nothing of value. Your mission is to make them believe that's exactly what your home is: empty and not worth their time. In the game of survival, the mind is your greatest weapon. Decoys and misdirection are just ways to wield it. They can buy you time, preserve your resources, and even save your life. Remember, in the face of desperation, people see what they want to see, and a well-placed decoy can turn a looter's greed into your advantage. When the world goes dark, so should you. In the face of worsening conditions, your survival hinges on your ability to become a ghost in your own home. This means powering down all non-essential electronics. Any light, no matter how dim, can be a beacon to those looking for an easy target. It's crucial to block all light sources, including windows and cracks under doors. Cover them with blackout curtains or heavy blankets. Even the glow of a phone screen can give you away, so keep it off unless absolutely necessary. And let's not forget about sound. In a world gone silent, even the smallest noise can carry. Walk softly, speak in whispers, and avoid activities that create noise. Your goal is to create the illusion of an empty, abandoned space. Remember, in times of crisis, less is more. When visibility is a liability, darkness can be your best ally.